Hey guys, Coach Mitch. Let me catch you up on here. I had 9 clients who went down to the ACE for Secret Service last month. Of that, 8 passed, of course, right? My 9th one will pass too, I'm sure he will, but he didn't pass the APAT. So he's got to go back and do that. Otherwise, he's going to have a darn good chance to. So that's an excellent success rate. I'm very proud of all 8 of you guys, my Secret Service guys. Good job. Let's get down to 4 points why Secret Service candidates do not pass the super interview. Yeah, do not pass the super interview. So the first one's going to be, as always, your stories have no clear decision point. So they're looking for you to wrap up your story with some decisions that you made. So for example, I'm looking for, when I coach you, is what choice did you make? I want to know, we want to delineate what are the choices you're making within your story. Remember, these stories are not some fantasy. They're not some whoa. They come from your actual inventory of your life, right? And we extract those stories, bring them to the front, and then we improve them. You guys know by now what I do. You talk about your story, write it out in Word, send it to me in Word, I update it, I fix it, make it better, send it back to you, you update it, fix it, and we start going from there. We work on each story at a time, right? Because each story has to be precise. It has to flow. It has to make sense. So that's what they do. Let's go back to it again. So the story is, what choice are you making? I'm always asking too, well, why did you make that choice? Because these guys on the panel are going to ask that same question, and they want you to deliver it in a way that doesn't have any kind of hesitancy. You must be able to make that decision, make that choice, and be firm in that choice, and we go from there. I don't want you to waffle or not know what you're talking about. I want you to be firm on that point, because we want this panel to be able to evaluate our decision making, right? And so that comes in the coaching program, because I'm always going to challenge you. You guys already know this. We rewrite your stories, whatever. We know how that works already. But I'm always going to challenge you, right? Always challenge you. Number 2, of course, is think about yourself also, too, but also think about the team. You want to use words, of course, like we decided, we did, we this, we that. But here's that fine blend. It's that strange dichotomy, right? Because you're also going to want to take, when it comes down to leadership behaviors, they're going to want to see that too. However, it can't be just you, I, me all the way through. Yes, it's going to be you for sure, right? But it also has to be that inclusion about what you did, because the panel wants to hear about you, what you did, what action you partook in, what action you did, and why you did that action. It's going to be a lot of focus on your actions, your judgment, your decision making, and then they're going to judge your judgment upon that. They're going to judge you based upon that. I know this. 7 years of doing this, I know what they're looking for. I've been through this for 7 years. I already know what they want. And they want to hear about you. Yes, the team also, but they want to hear about you and what you did in these decision makings that you made from your own life. Again, the stories got to come from your own life. Now, here's the deal. Sometimes I get guys in my program who want to be a hero in all these stories. You can't always be a hero, because, for one, when it comes down to analytical thinking, right, practical measures, right, it doesn't take a hero to do this. I can make you go to the bank and take out money from the ATM and make it sound like a good story, because those are actions within that action, right? Same thing here. They don't want to hear about how you came out of the shadows and took on 9 guys and and all this stuff. You know, they don't want to hear that. They want humility, but they also want direction of your story, meaning that you need to put them into your story so they can track what you're saying and make it make sense to them, using what Secret Service would do. If you think about Secret Service as an invisible guardian, it'd be a lot easier for you to keep you away from that John Rambo type behavior, right? Because again, it's the judgment, it's the emotional maturity, it's the mission, it's all into one big ball of wax. Now, we go into it in serious depth in my program. You are repeating to me your story 2, 3, 4 times. Ask my clients, they know this already, right? We do it almost to ad nauseum, but that's what I do to make sure it's perfect, because I got to get you past this interview process, right? That's my job. You guys already know, my job is to get that badge on your waist for Secret Service, right? to get that, we got to put the work in, and that's what it's all about. Number 3 is always, you guys sometimes are skipping the outcome. This panel is almost thirsting for an outcome from you, but you won't give it, right? Like, what happened from your decision? What was the outcome of your decision? Was the situation improved because you got into it? You must be able to say that. Then they always want to know, what was the result, right? They're going to want to know, can you articulate a clear outcome that makes the story feel complete? Or are you missing the outcome and the story feels like it's so incomplete? They're thinking, can this guy make a decision? Or he made a decision, but it's a terrible decision, right? You don't want him thinking that way. You want him to think positive about your decision-making skills. This takes practice. It really does take coaching, because I want to hear what you're going to tell me. I want you to go down the right road with this answer. Don't walk in there unprepared. You have to understand what they're going to come at you with, right? Your experience must show judgment. A lot of people have experience, right? But a lot of people cannot say in their story what the experience was and what happened and so on and so forth. They don't know how to do that. They don't know how to articulate themselves so this panel can hear them. And guys, I'm telling you right now, the Secret Service panel is not desperate. They don't do desperate hires, right? No such thing as some unqualified surging for a Secret Service. They don't do that. Yes, they need more essays for sure. That's a guarantee. But they do not lower their bar for nobody. Sometimes you might hear other agencies do that. Sometimes other places do that. Hey, have you got a pulse? You're hired. They don't do that here. So they want to make sure that your stories are full of judgment, integrity, leadership, focus on mission, outcomes. Those are important. Those are the things I hit you with time and time again. And yet, we're in my coaching program, right? And I'll ask you, I'll cut you right off. You guys already know how it works. I'll say that again to me. Okay, stop. And we'll put certain words in there and we'll explain it to me again, because I want you to understand. If you see me as a paneler interviewing you, then you're going to understand how serious it really is. And it's very serious, because they do not need you. They don't. They have 1,000 guys just like you. You have to make it so that they want to need you. Understand? Need you in as a Secret Service agent. That's what they want, right? Number 5 is, a lot of you guys have a hard time reflecting what was learned. So what do I mean by that? It's okay in your story to admit to have made a mistake. That's fine. That's not a bad deal. The thing is this, though. As you make your mistake, we must then recover from it. If you think you're looking for perfection, you're in the wrong job. You have to be able to say, yep, this happened. Here's how I recovered. And this is what happened after that. And it has to be a positive road from there. This is what sometimes you guys in my coaching program, I got to bring it out of you. Okay, you made a mistake, obviously, right? Yeah, I did, Coach Mitch. Let's fix that, right? And these stories are attention grabbers. They like to hear these things because it just makes sense to the panels. These are really great stories, you guys. You guys have this within you to do it, but you don't practice. This is why Secret Service has a 72% fail rate for their interview. Yeah, 72% fail rate for the super interview process, because you guys are not preparing properly. And you have to, my friends. You have to do that, okay? Now, what I want to know from you is this. If you're ready for this, I want to know in the comments, why do you want to be Secret Service? Because it's the first question I ask all you guys anyway in my Secret Service coaching program. Why do you want to be Secret Service? Look at those guys out there work at Secret Service. They're awesome, man. They're just awesome. You rarely hear about Secret Service in the news for negative stuff, because they want the best of the best. They want the creme de la creme. If you're serious about joining my coaching program, let me give you a little help here. Last year, 38 agents went through my program. All 38 made it. 38 made it. Last month, so for January, 9 of my clients made it. February was a big one. 21 made it through. All my clients made it, okay? Takes a lot of work, but man, I love it. You guys can do this. You take care. It's Coach Mitch. I want you guys to continue your mission. Get down in the description below. Get into my coaching program. Let's get you started. Take care. Bye-bye.